I'm here in the studio today with Rocio Dantart from Cisco, and I'd like to ask you a couple questions, Rocio. But can you first just say a few words of introduction about yourself?
Sure. I work for Cisco. I am industrial IoT regional sales leader, and I've been at Cisco for 15 years.
Rocio, we see many manufacturers launching exciting AI pilots, only to have them stall when they try to scale. Why is the network the common denominator in these failures?
So yes, this is a typical problem. It's like a speed car on a dirty road. Many companies are piloting AI software, and it works when it's a pilot, but when they deploy, they fail because the foundation for the AI to work is the network. And even some executives think that the network is a utility that has to work, but that's not the case with AI. We really need to prepare our networks to be able to cope with all the data flows and the constant traffic. Let's put it this way: in the future of AI, we're going to have physical AI, which means we're going to have tons of robots, PLCs, AGVs that are going to be in the factory, and those elements that do very specific tasks, but they have little brains and they need to connect to the data center, which is the brain. So more than ever, the network is connecting the physical elements and the physical assets to the data center has to be resilient, has to be reliable, and of course, has to be fast.
Rocio, when you talk about a modern industrial network, you aren't just talking about higher speeds. What does that actually look like on the shop floor?
We have to look at it as if we're going from a traditional manual factory to a software defined factory. So, what we're going to provide here is intelligent and flexibility. Flexibility because we're going to introduce virtualization. We're going to have our network dynamically change the way it behaves because and it performs because we're going to have more flexibility in implementing these software functions. So it's going to allow us to run not only virtual PLCs or industrial PCs or whatever, but is as well to implement digital twins, for example. And then the other aspect is the cyber native feature that we need to implement in our network. Networks have to be cyber native. They have to have the cybersecurity embedded in the network. Whether it's a brown field or a green field, we need to have the means to have visibility on the network, detect the assets, then profile them and protect them. And that has to be done regularly as the network grows in a daily basis.
There's a massive skill gap in manufacturing. How does a more complex modern network not overwhelm the OT teams who are already stretched pretty thin?
So yes, this is a reality. OT today has to have much more skills in IT because IT is starting to secure OT and work together. So this IT OT convergence is happening, and that doesn't mean that the OT technicians need to know more about IT, but we are going to provide them with the tools to help them do better the job and to learn how to troubleshoot in the plant floor. So first, tools that are going to speak natural language, they're going to be easier for them to interwork with, and based on AI to help them with troubleshooting, finding problems, issues with the network or duplicate addresses. So they're going to be able to cope even with more tasks than they used to do before.
Rocio, tell me, how are you enjoying the forum?
Well, this is my first time here, and it has been so far an extremely good experience. This is a forum where companies share their challenges, where vendors share their solutions, and industry experts share their knowledge. So it's a learning experience, it's an interworking experience where you meet a lot of people. So I can only be thankful.
Rocio, thanks very much for your time. And I hope to see you at another ARC forum soon.